Good morning and welcome to a webinar where we'll be attempting to answer any queries that you may have about taking an admission to our undergraduate program at SIMC UG or SET, which is the entry-level examination. To begin with, let me introduce this entire place to you. Symbiosis was founded sometime around in the early 1970s. The Department of Media and Communication was formed in early 90s, and the undergraduate department was formed in 2008. Ever since we sent out our first batch, we have been consistently ranked as the best mass comm college in the country by an India Today AC Nielsen survey that they do every year. The entrance to, or the admission to the institute is through an aptitude test, which is objective in nature, called SET or Symbiosis Entrance Test, which will be held on the 2nd of May this year. SET has 5 different tests, but the one that you need to take in order to get an admission into our institute is the general test, which will be offered to you in the afternoon slot. This test has 4 components: general awareness, verbal ability, analytical and logical reasoning, and quantitative. It is a very simple test, and any person with average intelligence and general awareness should be able to crack it. Yes, the thing that you should keep in mind is that there will be a lot of questions, and though you'll know the answers to all of them, maybe you'll have to start answering them really quickly. So speed is of essence over here, and simply because we get a very large number of applications. So for example, this year we are expecting anywhere around 40,000 applicants. Please remember that when we shortlist candidates, we possibly go down to the 3rd decimal point. So if the shortlist is at, say, 80, then anybody who has 79.9995 would also not get through. So it's a keenly contested occasion, but I'm sure if you prepare well, if you're confident, there's nothing to be worried about. The application process requires you to visit the SET website, register for the SET. You'll be given a SET ID, and you have to pay an application fee to the SET so that they can offer you that examination. This is a separate process. It is handled by a separate department called the Symbiosis Test Secretariat. Their job is just to offer this examination. The institute, SIMC UG, does not offer this test to you. It merely accepts the scores generated by SET. So you also have to come to the SIMC UG website, register for SIMC UG, and pay an application fee to SIMC UG so that we can consider your candidature for shortlisting. So in a nutshell, the process consists of 2 steps: register for SET, pay for SET; register for SIMC UG, pay for SIMC UG. Once you take the test on the 2nd of May, we'll take another couple of weeks, a fortnight, to declare the results. Hopefully the results will be declared by the 18th of May. Possibly by 20th of May, we will chart out a shortlist for the 2nd round. Now we can take in about 120 candidates, and we should ideally be calling in for the 2nd round 6 times the number of seats that we have. So we'll be calling in about 720 candidates to Pune for the 2nd round. So what happens in the 2nd round? In the 2nd round, we have a personal interaction. Please remember, it's not an interview. It's an interaction. We will just have a conversation with you. We'll chat. We'll just get to know each other better. I am only interested in seeing as to what are your capabilities, what are your interests, whether you are at the right place, and please feel free. If you are not at the right place, our panelists will actually counsel you as to what best to do, where to go. We'll also have a writing ability test. Because SET is an objective test, we will give you a subjective writing ability test so that we are able to figure out as to how are you able to express your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas and we'll possibly give you an on-the-spot assignment, which will be fun. So again, don't worry, and we'll go through your documents to see whether or not you're eligible to pursue a graduation with us. And then hopefully by this process, the second round would be held at the end of May, beginning of June in Pune only. So I would advise that the dates are there on the website. If you are confident that you'll crack the SET and make it to our second round, you should ideally book a few railway tickets, because when you'll get the offer letter from us to come to the second round, you'll realize that you'll have very little time to make a booking. Train is absolutely out of question, so you'll possibly have to fly, and the ticket rates would be very, very steep. So we always recommend that candidates book train tickets for, say, a few days, 29th, 31st, 2nd. Worst case scenario, you can cancel them. It'll possibly just cost you anywhere between 10 to 20 rupees, depending on whether you're doing it yourself or whether you're doing it online. Sometime around the possibly second week of May, possibly even earlier, we'll declare our merit list and we'll send you an offer letter for admission. You'll have to pay the admission fee and the tuition fee, and the program commences end of June, beginning of July, and then you're here, and I hope that we do meet and we spend the next 3 years learning from each other. I'm sure while I'll have a lot to tell you about the industry, I'm sure you can tell my generation about how to use the latest smartphones, which we are very poor at. So what is the program here like? It's a 3-year undergraduate full-time degree program. The degree that you'll get if you actually complete all the parameters in 2018 is BA, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication. This is the degree that you'll get. The 3-year period is divided into 6 semesters of 6 months each, out of which 4 months you'll spend on campus, 2 months you'll spend on the field training. Out of the 4 months that you'll be on campus, you'll have classes every day. From 9:30 to 1 o'clock, we'll have theoretical sessions. From 2 to 4:15 in the afternoon, we'll have practical sessions. And this will be running from Monday to Saturday. Hopefully, you should get a Sunday off. But of course, usually Mondays are exams or assignment submissions, so it'll keep you busy. Pre-class, 7 to 9, you can play. We have facilities about soccer, volleyball, basketball, throwball, cricket. We have a gymnasium, aerobics floor, yoga shala, so you can actually come and play before coming to class. After classes, from 5 to 8, we have lots of activities that you can engage yourself in. You can learn a foreign language, Spanish, French, German. You can play music, you can dance, you can engage in theater, you can participate in literary and debating activities. You can sit in our audiovisual library and watch films. We have a collection of about 5,000 films. So a lot of things to do over here. Recently, India Today had done a survey about the campuses in India where students feel that they have fun while getting quality education. And Symbiosis was amongst the top 5 of these campuses where students thought that they had fun while getting quality education. And that's exactly how we'd like to brand ourselves, that yes, this is a place where students have a lot of fun while having quality education. And why not? Why should education only be why should education be boring? Why can't it be fun as well? So those students who find the right place to be in, they also have a lot of fun. Every month our students go on a field trip where they come back, they take pictures, they write a report. Every month we have an intra-department or inter-batch competitive event in sports, in cultural activities, and literary and debating activities. Every month we have a lecture cum demonstration on an Indian classical performing art, which a concept we have borrowed from Spick McKay. And yeah, there's actually a lot to do. The structure of the program is something like this. The first year is foundation and hence common to everybody. In the second year, you'll be segregated into two groups. Those students who want to take up creating of media messages, those who feel creative, and those who want to get into the businesses about communication. In the third year, we'll segregate you into four groups. So those who have taken after creating media messages will be segregated into the ones who want to create fictional messages, and that specialization is called film and television. And the ones who would want to form non-fictional messages, a specialization we call journalism. The other two groups are those who have gone into the businesses of communication will get into the overt form of creating a marketing message, which is advertising, and the covert, which is public relations. So where do these students land up after they complete the program? A journalism student may join a newspaper, a news agency, a magazine, a news channel, a news portal, would freelance. The film and television students can join film production house, an ad film production house, an independent filmmaker, can join a television channel, a general entertainment channel, television channel, could freelance. An advertising student can join an ad agency, can join the marketing communications division of a corporate house, a media planning agency, a market research agency. Public relations students can join a PR agency, can join the corporate communications division of a corporate house, can join an event management firm, could freelance. And all these students can also work in the development sector. In an NGO, can be entrepreneurs and start their own creative boutiques offering services. So primarily, this is basically what we are all about. If you ask us as to why are we considered as the best mass comm college, the answer is simple. We offer more specializations than most other media schools do, and I'm not boasting over here. For example, the specializations in public relations and film and television are generally not offered in a BA Mass Comm program, which is mostly about journalism and some places about advertising. So, for example, if you look at the infrastructure where we are seated right now is called a studio. We are actually sitting in a shooting floor. Maybe in a little while I'll be asking my camera person to zoom out and show you around. This is where the film and television students and broadcast journalism students get trained almost on a daily basis. The proximity to Mumbai enables us to call in a lot of professionals, and I'm sure you're aware that more than 60% of the top media houses are in Mumbai, and fortunately we've got very good relations with all of them. Not only do they take in our students for training, they come down and interact with our students. So anyway, that's enough about us. Let's hear from you. Here's a list of queries that you have posted. Let me see if I can answer them, and if you are actually online at this moment, please feel free to keep sending in more questions, more clarifications. Let's see how much time we can spend together. And even if I'm not able to answer all of them, you're most welcome to post them on our Facebook page, and we'll keep getting back to you. Okay. The first question which is appearing on our screen here is a degree from SIMC UG equivalent to any other conventional undergraduate course? What are the capacities in which one can be employed after a course from SIMC UG? The employment aspect we just spoke about. Yes, this degree is comparable with any other conventional undergraduate degree. As I told you, the degree that you get is a BA, Bachelor of Arts, and this is given by the Symbiosis International University. I'm sure you're aware that only universities are entitled to award a certificate like a degree. If you are studying at a place which is not affiliated to a university, they can at best give you a diploma. If you get a diploma, the problem is that you can't study further. But when you get a degree from any university which is recognized by the apex body called UGC, or University Grants Commission, which is governed by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. And how can you check on this? UGC, every single university that has been granted a university status by UGC would be available on a website called AIU, all India universities. And if you can find that university over there, you know that this indeed is an actual university, and it is entitled to award your degree. So for example, after this BA, you are free to go ahead and study further. You can do an MA, MBA, whatever you want to. The next question, which is appearing on a screen over here, is can I change my specialization in SIMC UG after I fill the form? Of course, the choice of specialization is merely indicative. Towards the beginning of the second semester, we will be asking you to reconfirm your choice, and at that point of time you are free to change your specialization. Of course, let me also give you a disclaimer over here that we only take about 40 students per specialization. So if for any reason any one specialization has more than 40 students, we'll opt for the top scoring 40 students, and the other students will have to take up other specializations. So the key over here is to keep performing well. The next question, which is appearing on our screen, is does your university give placements? If yes, and what are the companies that come for placements? I just spoke about placements. What are the lists of the companies which come for placement? The entire list of those companies which come here and offer jobs to our students, or where our past students, alumni are working, is there on the alumni. It's a rather large list for me to narrate over here, and I actually wouldn't remember all of them. So please go to our website and click on the placement tab, and the entire list would be available for your perusal. What is the criteria for admission in SIMC? The eligibility is simple. You have to have minimum education, formal education for 12 years, which means that you should have done 10+2 or HSC from any board, ISC, CBSE, HSC State Board, IB, and you should have scored a minimum of 50% in the aggregate or an equivalent grade. We also accept diplomas which are recognized by the National School of Technical Training, and the 3-year diploma programs. What is the fee structure? This is again available on the website, but I'll just tell you the annual tuition fee for this batch, which will join us in 2015, is 1.9 lakhs, and this is just a tuition fee. If you also want to take the hostel, which is optional, hostel along with the mess and the transportation charge should come somewhere around 1.3 lakhs. But you can also choose to stay on your own. How do I prepare for SET? I want to enroll for MAS. Okay. Honestly, I don't think you really need to prepare for SET, considering the fact that the paper is fairly simple. It's designed like any other entrance exams, and any person, as I told you earlier, with common general awareness and average intelligence should crack it. Yes, what does matter over here is that, and when you see the paper, you'll agree with me that you can answer all the questions. You may not have enough time. So practicing will give you some speed, which can be the make or break factor over here. There are several magazines which are available, books, coaching classes where you can enroll, or you can study on your own. So all the best for that. Is English a must for group discussion and personal interview? If I'm not that good at English, would it be impossible for me to get through group discussion and personal interview? Okay, to begin with, we are not having a group discussion. In fact, we never had a group discussion. What we had was a group exercise, but we are not having it for the past 1 year at least. And the personal interview is not an interview, it's just a personal interaction. You are most welcome to interact in Hindi if you are not comfortable in English, and it is proficiency in English is not a criteria to get in over here. Yes, all our classes are conducted in English, and most of the case studies that we use are also either in English or they're in a different language but subtitled in English. So yes, it does seem like English is very important, but if you can understand, that should be good enough. And if you speak to us in Hindi, I'm sure most of us do understand. Yes, if you insist on only a regional language, then only a few of us may understand that. So there would be some faculty members who can understand a regional language, and I'm sure that is a limitation you'll agree with. What kind of difficulty level does SET have? Would it be difficult as that of engineering entrances or so? You know, I already told you SET is not a very difficult examination. Basically, the reason for us to conduct SET is, as I told you earlier, we have a very large number of students applying. Now, while we would have loved to meet all of them, it is not possible to meet 40,000 students. So we are just using this as an elimination round where we are able to figure out as to which best, say for us, 720 students to call for the second round. It's a simple test, and of course, you'll have to do better than the others, and as I told you, just keep practicing and concentrate on that speed. Can you provide the SET question paper pattern of last year? The paper pattern is available on the SET website. General awareness, verbal ability, analytical and logical reasoning, quantitative. On our Facebook page, we are also in the process of developing an app which will give you a mock test. These will obviously be indicative questions. These will not be the real questions which either have been used or will be used, but it will possibly give you a kind of look in, a kind of a general indication as to what to expect. So please wait for that. Is profile important for admission to BA Mass Comm? I don't think I can understand this question in its entirety. Maybe if you're online, you could send me a supplementary question elaborating upon this. But if you're trying to say that if you're looking at work experience, that if there are students who have, say, written for school magazines, or if there are students who have conducted school events, if there are students, you know, who have possibly made films, is it important? It will definitely fetch you a brownie point during our personal interaction. I mean, we will be impressed if you tell us that, you know, you were the editor of the school magazine and you can produce certificates and you're writing pieces. Definitely, it will be an impressive thing to display. But that doesn't mean that if you haven't done anything ever, but you have the keenness to learn and you have the ability to learn, and you are looking forward to your stay over here and benefiting from it as much as possible, I don't see any reason as to why you can't score more than the others who have already done something. What are the paradigms of new media in India? Okay. Fine. This is a question actually we should have taken up at a different level, but maybe in a slight manner. Say, for example, one of the reasons to introduce sub-specialization in journalism, wherein students can also specialize in online media, is one of the indications that we are acknowledging the fact that the media platform, especially for your generation, is shifting. So I see more youngsters, say, reading on a Kindle or maybe with a smartphone, playing all the time on it, accessing apps instead of websites, reading, listening to music, maybe even watching movies. Now the fact does remain that when we are talking about a different medium, the creation of the messages for that medium would have to be different. For example, if you're watching a film on your smartphone or a tablet, the size is small, and so we'll have to create messages. So I can't show Lawrence of Arabia on your smartphone and you won't enjoy it. Okay, maybe, sorry, you are too young to understand what I'm saying. Say Avatar. I can't show Avatar on you won't enjoy watching Avatar on your smartphone or your tab. Simply because this is on a very large canvas and it is best enjoyed on that large wide screen of a cinema theater. So if I'm going to show you films on your tab or your smartphone, they have to be differently made. They have to be made where we only use a close-up, very much like you can see myself right now. Now this kind of an image you can easily see on your laptop. But avatar is lost. Also movement. So you are able to see this image and you're also able to follow my lip movement and connect it with the sound very well because there's no movement. But suppose I was riding a horse. Now this would be very, very disturbing on your tab or your smartphone. So if I have to make a film for this medium, I have to make sure that I use close-ups and I'm using minimal movement. Similarly, if I'm designing a website, a portal, if I'm designing a news element, it should, instead of you scrolling down, you're panning, you're moving your screen, it should be appearing as it is. So there is a need to train for this medium because I think it's here to stay and it will just spread over more and more. So if you're interested, it's very good. You are looking into the future, and we also acknowledge that fact. Next, if I have a low HSC percentage, do I still have a shot in SIMC UG? The question is how low, because the eligibility says that you have to have a minimum of 50% aggregate at HSC or an equivalent grade. Of course, for certain reserved categories, it is lowered to 45. So if you can just check the website, you'll know which reserved categories have this dip in the percentage, and if you are from the general category, if you have 50, that should be good enough. How can we avail for the offline forms for postgraduate program of mass communication? This is a question I think should have been addressed to the postgraduate department, and the postgraduate department doesn't have an offline form. The entire application to any program in Symbiosis, undergraduate or postgraduate, is online, and if you go to their website, it will be available there. What are the last dates for admission of the forms for post-graduation program? I'll skip that as well. The admission for the postgraduate programs are already over. For this year, their entrance exam, for example, was held on the 3rd Sunday of December last year. So if you're talking about this year, then again, look out for the admission announcement in September or October, August, September, October this year, and the exams will happen mid-December. It's called SNAP, S-N-A-P, Symbiosis National Aptitude Test. Can I change my specialization preference later on? We have already answered this question. The next question is very philosophical in nature. The question simply says, why SIMC? Okay, if you're asking the question as to why we exist, I can only quote René Descartes, the famous philosopher. I think, therefore I am. So I think I matter, so I exist. If you're asking that why should you choose SIMC over others, that is what I tried to discuss in my introduction as to why we also believe that the India Today survey is correct in his assessment that we are the best mass comm school in the country. But don't believe us and don't believe India Today. Look out for yourself. I think if you are a thinking person, you should ideally compare and contrast several institutes before taking admission. So luckily today all the information is available on our website. It's a mandatory disclosure. We can't hide anything from you. That's the law of the land. So compare and contrast the websites of at least 10 different institutes and then choose for yourself whichever you think gives you the kind of a confidence that this is the right kind of a place or the best kind of a place that you should go for. Do that. Don't listen to anybody. Judge for yourself, very much like how Ramakrishna Paramhans himself told Swami Vivekananda that before you accept me as a guru, you should first figure out whether I am the person that should be your guru. Next, how to study for the SET and where to get mock papers from. Coaching classes advisable. We have discussed this very quickly. Magazines, books, coaching classes. Sorry, we can't advertise and promote a particular book or a magazine or a coaching class. They are not paying us a commission for this, so I wouldn't use this space. Again, choose the one that you think is best. So go over several books, look at several magazines, visit coaching classes, and figure out which one you think is best. And believe me, you can also prepare on your own. The next question is, hello, hi. I had taken PCM, which should be Physics, Chemistry, Maths, with PHE and IP. Child, you have lost me over here. I was in school before you were born, so you have to appreciate the fact that so many acronyms are truly lost over here. Yes, I can understand the CBSE bit, so I'll carry on. I passed out with an aggregate of 75% marks, but actually I failed in maths. That has been shifted to the additional subject now. So am I eligible for admission in journalism course? I don't know. Why don't you write to us? Why don't you send me an email with your query, and I'll forward it to the eligibility department of our university, and let them verify, look at your grade sheets, your testimonials, whatever, and figure out. But I know for a fact that if you have a compartment, if you have failed a particular subject, then you are not eligible for admission over here. But considering the fact that you had 75% marks, that means that you have obviously taken, you have already cleared your 12th last year. So I'm curious as to, did you attempt to clear your maths paper in a supplementary effort? What happened? But I guess let's take it separately. Write to us, write us a detailed email, and we'll get back to you within maximum 2 days. What qualities I need to possess to have a bright future in this field? The qualities that you need to possess, to have a bright future in this field are the same qualities that you need to possess to have a bright future in any field. There are only two things that one can, from my position, preach you, is that there is no substitute for hard work, and there are no shortcuts to success. And apart from that, yes, of course, if you are curious and if you have a passion for the field, if you are willing to experiment, willing to learn, willing to go an extra mile, are not daunted by heavy odds, if you think out of the box, if you have a solution for problems, these are again additional points. But of course, the basic fact does remain that yes, you are talented and you're hardworking and you're disciplined. If you have these traits, you will do well in any field. The next question is, as students, we often have a dilemma while choosing between the conventional and somehow elite Delhi University colleges and colleges like SIMC, which have been known for their practical outlook and approach. You really want me to attempt this? Okay, I'll be upsetting a lot of my friends who teach at Delhi University. What do you think makes the SIMC UG program different from, say, a journalism course from LSR or BMM course from St. Xavier's, Mumbai? Hope I'm not being too disrespectful. Yes, you have put me in a spot over here with a question like this, and now I'm wondering whether I should be nice to my friends or I should be loyal to the organization that I represent. See, again, let's start with a disclaimer. Don't believe a word of what I'm saying. Judge for yourself. I'm not evading, I'll come back to your question. But whatever I say, after that, you have to take what I'm telling you, you have to take what they're telling you, and take a decision yourself. Don't listen to anyone. So how do you think we are different from the elite Delhi or Mumbai University colleges? I believe the reason why you even think them to be elite is because there is a lot of emphasis on the knowledge or the knowledge that is imparted in a very pedantic manner, and the knowledge that is imparted is supposed to be so sacrosanct that it can only be imparted in in a manner in which it is sacrosanct, and it remains sacrosanct, and if we try to make it even interesting, it will become blasphemous or something like that, which is the way traditionally we have looked at education. And this is where I was trying to tell you that honestly, if you ask me, I don't see any problem in a child enjoying learning or having fun when he is being trained. The other thing is that the reason why we have a focus on the practicals or applied or internships or projects and other aspects that I just spoke to you about is because our program is like that. I mean, think about it. Suppose you enrolled into a swimming class and you had several lectures on swimming, and you had several videos about Olympic level swimmers and history of swimming and psychology and physics of swimming, and then you were given a certificate for advanced diploma in swimming, and you couldn't swim. See what I mean? So a program like swimming has to have a practical outlook. It also have to give you a theoretical input as to what is swimming all about and the dangers, the do's and don'ts and everything. But it should also similarly throw you into the pool, let you, flap around and kick around and then start swimming. If you similarly entered into a driving school and you had a license saying that I know everything about driving, but unfortunately I can't drive, I don't think that I'm not saying that Delhi or Mumbai University doesn't do this. I'm just trying to explain as to why we have such a large impetus on creating an infrastructure where you can have practical, or why there are so many practical sessions, and why we send our students out to train and get into internships. So but please let me also have a disclaimer over here saying that suppose if you are not pursuing film production, but instead you are pursuing film studies. Now, film studies is an academic discipline, and if you're doing film studies, we would only approach it absolutely academically. There cannot be a practical component to it, except for the fact that yes, after the training, as a part of assessment, you will be shown certain extracts that you'll have to evaluate yourself, but you won't be working on a camera or sound or editing. I hope I have answered your question. It's very interesting. I could always discuss this more, but I'd prefer to discuss it off the camera and not on it. And I'm extremely sorry to all my friends who, very good teachers, very well-meaning people at these glorious organizations where I've been to and I've taught myself. So please, no offense meant. Next, what are the career options of mass communication? This is something we discussed during the introduction that I gave. Possibly you joined in later. But anyway, they're there on the website. Please carry on. I'll rather take questions which haven't been answered. Is SIMC offering BA/J courses? Let me tell you, sometime last year, in one of their gadgets, the UGC has now made it all the programs which are related to mass communication. They all have to be rechristened as a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication, or BA Mass Com. Next, courses related to music for commerce student. Wow, that's very niche. I would advise that you should go to a place like IIN, something like this, where you can study. What is that? Never mind. We have a subject in music, but that's about it. The program is BA Mass Comm, and the specialization is film and television or audiovisual production. And within that specialization, we have several subjects. One of those subjects is music, because if you are going to work in film and television, you will be using music as a component of composition. Next, sound recording course can be done by commerce student. Again, I think the same person. I think I understand your query a little better now. I think you have studied commerce and now you are not interested in taking it forward into, say, doing a BCom or similarly commerce or business related courses. What you have done earlier is of very little consequence as to what you'll do later, especially at such a crucial juncture. Yes, you'll be having a slight disadvantage to the fact that unlike the student who would have taken, say, arts, would have studied history, psychology, sociology, political science, maybe even economics, they'll understand a lot of things better. But about 50% of the students who apply to us are from science stream, and about 30% students who apply to us are from commerce stream. Only 20% come from the arts stream. So to enable the remaining 80%, we also have courses in political science, sociology, psychology, economics, history, literature, so that they can understand a lot of other things that we're going to discuss. And some of the courses that you have studied in commerce will also be very beneficial in understanding, if you're especially going into the specialization about the businesses of communication. Similarly, science students will also benefit from the fact that we will be talking about a lot of theories of physics, light, sound, electromagnetism, for example, to understand the machines that we are working with, cameras, microphones, sound recording units. So you forget about what you have done earlier. If you really want to get into sound design and music, take a plunge. What is the eligibility for SIMC UG? 12th with 50% aggregate. We've discussed this. What is the fee structure? There on the website. We have discussed this as well. Let's move on. These are seemingly very similar questions. What is, can you tell me what is the intake for SIMC UG? We usually take about 120 students every year, out of which 71 seats are for open category, the rest are reserved. Over and above this, 15% students come from abroad, they're international students, and 2 students from Jammu and Kashmir. That's another reserved category. All the details are on the website. What is the duration of the course? Okay, let me try and have clarity over here. The term course is something that we use for a subject. So we have a course in history, which is one subject. But a cluster of several courses makes this 3-year undergraduate degree program. So what you're calling a course, I think you're referring to as the actual term is program. So what is the duration of the program? 3 years, just like any other graduation program, barring a few, say, liberal arts or engineering, medicine, law, which are slightly longer. What is the scope for media students? This is something we discussed during the introduction, and I'm sure you can go back, replay, or go to our website. Is it compulsory to take admission in hostels? No, it's not compulsory to take admission in hostel. Of course, if you ask me, as maybe a guardian, I would recommend that yes, do take the hostel. It's safer, it's simpler, it's healthier, it's easier, but you're free to stay wherever you feel like. A lot of our students actually come together and rent an apartment, and they take a 3-bedroom hall kitchen apartment, and about say 6 to 7 students stay, and they split the rent. So most welcome. There are a lot of students who stay on PG or paying guest kind of a arrangement with localites. Is SIMC only in Pune or do they have other branch? No, this is it. Sorry. This is it, the Mecca. I'm sorry, but we don't have a branch, and if you have to come to the best mass comm college in the country, this is where it is, and even the second round will be held here. And the reason why we are only conducting the second round here, though some of our sister concerns are also going to Noida and Bangalore, we would want you to have a look at the facilities when you come for the second round, which will help you take a decision, well-informed decision. What is the fee for the hostel? I think the hostel along with the mess and the transportation should come to somewhere around 1.3 lakhs. Optional. What are the facility you provide in campus? Okay, this is also there on our website in great details. We have, as I told you, we have a sports field where you can play soccer, volleyball, basketball, throwball, cricket. We have a gymnasium, we have an aerobics floor, we have a yoga shala, we have a cafeteria, a mess, a canteen. At the institute we have classrooms, screening halls, computer laboratory, library. We have a photography studio, we have a developing and printing room, we have a shooting floor where we are sitting right now, we have a production control room, we have editing cubicles, sound recording studio, we have an editing lab, we have a sound lab, we have an audiovisual library where you can watch films and washrooms and I don't know, anyway. Is there any scholarship provided by SIMCG? Not by the institute, but Symbiosis, the educational trust, which has created the Symbiosis International University, also has a Symbiosis Foundation, which gives a free ship to the student who scores the highest in SET and gets admission in a particular program. So, for example, amongst the 120 students who will enroll into BA Mass Communication at SIMCUG, the one person amongst these 120 who has the highest score in SET will get a free ship for one semester. And if the student continues to score 3.5 GPA in subsequent semesters, the scholarship or the free ship will continue or it will roll over. And you also need to have, I think, 90% in your 12th, or it rolls over to the next candidate. Are the fees different for category students? No, the fee is the same for general as well as reserved category students. Yes, certain reserved category students, like the international students, have a different fee. The payment mode is different. In fact, the admission mode itself is different. They are supposed to apply to us via a department of Symbiosis, which is created specifically to cater to admissions of international students. It's called Symbiosis Center for International Education, scie.ac.in, and this is for students who reside abroad, and they will not be in a position to take the SET because they will be taking their HSC exams in a foreign country, and that basically means a foreign national, PIO, person of Indian origin, OCI, overseas citizen of India, NRI, or non-resident Indian. Can I pay 1,000 rupees for SIMC after result? Good question. Now tell me something, and this is again kind of a query that we attend very, very frequently. If 40,000 students have taken the SET, and if say 20,000 students have applied to SIMCUG, then what we'll do is we'll look at which one of these 20,000 students have the highest scores, and then I'll pick up the 720 highest scoring students from this 20,000 and call them for my second round, and I'll send a regret letter to the remaining 19,280 students. Now, if you haven't registered for SIMC or paid for the application fee, then you're not amongst these 20,000. you are amongst the other 20,000 who have taken this SET but have not applied to SIMC UG. So you'll not be considered for the shortlisting. Simple. Are we supposed to post the application form to SIMC Pune? No, no, not at all. The entire application process is online, and you are not doing anything offline. What if I can just attend to it? So only the students who want to pay their application fee via a demand draft need to post the demand draft, and all the entire process as to how you do that is mentioned on the website. Don't forget to write your set ID behind the demand draft. Do you also conduct GD and PI? We have answered this earlier. We don't have a group discussion. In fact, we never had. We had a group exercise. And the PI that we have is a personal interaction. Is internship mandatory for the completion of graduation? Actually, no, we have never handled this query earlier. All the students are very happy to go on an internship. In fact, they compete with each other as to who will go for the better internship, and obviously the student who scores more are given the best opportunities. But is it mandatory? No, it's not mandatory to go for an internship. If a student doesn't go for an internship, what will happen? He or she will not be trained. He in that area will not be able to apply whatever he or she has learned over here in a real world situation. And there are about 50 marks assigned for an internship every semester, so he or she will lose that. But no, I mean, nothing is mandatory over here. I mean, you will never be made to do anything. You'll only be asked. If you do it, great. If you don't do it, great. Yes, those students who do a lot of things, they'll learn more. They'll also score better, and they'll be entitled to better facilities in the sense, like I told you, in terms of an internship. If we have limited offer, then obviously we'll extend this limited offer to the top students. So it does make sense to continue to do well. Can I pay the fee in installments? The fee is already being accepted in installments. So for example, if you get an admission over here, you'll be paying the fee in 3 installments. The first year, the second year, and the third year. If you're wondering that you can pay it in further installments, then you could write to us, and at that point of time we'll get back to you on a case-to-case basis if that can be entertained. How many percentage of attendance is compulsory? As I told you, nothing is compulsory. It just depends on what you do. Yes, of course, if you do certain things, you'll be entitled to certain other things. If you don't, then you won't be. For example, if you attend about 3 out of 4 classes, which is 75%, then the university will offer you its external examination. To understand this better, let me tell you, the assessment has 2 components. An internal component, which is given to you by the institute, and an external component, which is given to you by the university. The external component happens at the end of the semester. The internal component happens throughout the semester, spread out. It happens on a weekly basis. Now, if you don't have 75% attendance, the university doesn't offer you the external examination. You'll have to take it 6 months later in the next semester as a backlog. So yes, and to proceed for an internship, ideally you should have had about 90% attendance. But if you don't, you'll still get an opportunity. It's just that those who have better scores or higher percentage of attendance, they may get better opportunities, because better opportunities, it's like there is less room at the top. So those who have better scores or better attendance, they will have access to better opportunities. Do you provide distance learning? The institute, no, but Symbiosis as such has again a separate trust which offers distance learning program, and I believe they offer it to about 1.5 lakh students. It's called Symbiosis Center for Distance Learning. The website is scdl.net. You can go over there and again go through the entire range of their correspondence distance learning programs and have a look. Is maths compulsory in 12th to apply for SIMC? No, not at all. As I told you, you just need to have completed your 12th with 50% aggregate score. It doesn't matter as to what are the subjects that you opted for during your HSC. I'm from commerce background. Can I apply for SIMC? I really don't understand. Why are all the commerce students feeling so disconnected with us? Whatever you may have done earlier, as long as you have not impinged upon a clause in the Indian Penal Code, I think you're free to apply to SIMC UG, and whichever way you're feeling let down, you can work hard and cover it up. I have 1 year gap in 12th, so can I apply for SIMC? Of course you can. All you need to do is to give us a gap certificate. The format is available on the website, and you just need to tell us as to what you did in that gap year, in the sense that suppose you took 12th in 2014 and you're applying to us in 2015. So what did you do in this 1 year? And that's it. And it no matter what you have done, it won't be held against you, unless of course you have done something immoral or illegal and it's serious. So can I have my test city Delhi as a center for my PI and WAT, also for SIMC? I'm sorry, this is something we are not offering to you right now. If you qualify for the second round, you will have to come to Pune, because we are only offering the second round at Pune, and I told you the advantages is that we want you to have a look at the facilities that we have here and take a well-informed, better decision whether you really want to spend the next 3 years with us. And also, as I told you, that our personal interaction and writing ability test, apart from these two criteria, we also have something called a studio test. This is an on-the-spot assignment that we'll give you. No, don't worry. It's absolutely simple and it's a lot of fun. So we'll just ask you to do something for us, and very simple. Everybody will be able to do it. But we do want to also assess you for the practical component that we have. So it is absolutely essential that we do it here. But as I told you earlier, if you are very confident about making it to the second round, then you could possibly reserve a train journey over here, because flight tickets will become very expensive if you're trying to book it at the last moment. So suppose you get a call on the 22nd and you're supposed to come here on the 29th, you'll have less than a week to plan your travel, and it could be very expensive. And if for some reason you don't want to come here or you don't make it, you can always cancel that train reservation. It will just cost you about 10 to 20 rupees, somewhere around that. Okay. What is the difference between mass communication and media studies? Okay, so now we are getting into a class. This is something that I was hoping that we'll tell you once you have joined here and you take your first course over here, which is called communication studies. Mass communication is a process. Media is the vehicle. So for example, I want to tell you a story. I have had an experience which has left a very profound impact on me, and I want to share it with you. And I decide to write it and share it with you. This written piece is the media. This is the medium, the media. The process of me telling you this story, converting this idea in my mind, transferring it into your mind, is a process. Mass communication is a process. The media is a device. So am I using television, radio, print, digital? That's a medium. More about it in the classroom. What is the rank of SIMC UG Institute in Media College? Thank you for asking that question, because I'd love to answer this question. We are ranked as the best media school, best mass comm college in the country by the annual India Today and AC Nielsen surveys that they've been doing for several years. Can I choose specialization after getting admission in SIMC UG? We have answered this. Yes, of course you can do that. The choice of specialization that you're doing right now is merely indicative, and at the end, towards the end of the first year, we'll give you an opportunity to change that, because hopefully by then you'll be exposed to every area of communication and media, and you'll be able to take a better decision, a more well-informed decision. Right now, I think you're just doing it on an instinct, but after spending a year over here, you would have studied everything. You would have studied a little bit of journalism, a little bit of film and television, a little bit of advertising, a little bit of public relations, communications per se, marketing, management, photography, design, visual aesthetics, everything. Um, Design software. You would have also done a lot of humanities and social sciences subjects like history, sociology, psychology. So your understanding 1 year from now would be much better in deciding as to which specialization that you want to go into. Also, because you would have studied these subjects, you'll also be able to figure out as to which one interests you more and which one are you more capable at. So for example, I'm able to say you are able to do a journalism assignment better, faster, and gets more appreciation from the teacher. So you know that your capability in journalism is more than, say, public relations, for example. Um, can I choose dual specialization in SIMC? Now you're just getting greedy. No, you can't do this. Uh, we would like to create young professionals who will do very well in a chosen area of specialization. And here we don't see this dual specialization working out better. Tell me very honestly, suppose you got into a flight and you bumped into the captain and he told you that um, he's a professional golf player and he also flies aircrafts. How comfortable will you feel about stepping in and letting this pilot who also spends a lot of time playing golf? Or you were undergoing a surgery and the doctor said, I've just finished playing Ranji, but I'm also a part-time surgeon. Just how comfortable will you feel about this specialist? So we believe that you should be a jack of all trades and master of one. So that is why we'll teach you about all the media, but we'll strongly recommend that you specialize in one. Is there a defense quota in getting an admission to SIMC? No, unfortunately not. We do not have a quota for dependents of defense personnel. This particular facility is only available to a few institutes at SIMC, at Symbiosis. This was basically an agreement between the Ministry of Defense, MOD, Government of India, and the Symbiosis Trust, and it only is applicable to the institutes which were a part of that agreement at that point of time. We are not a part of that agreement, so the dependents of defense personnel will be applying to us as general or open category, and we've had a lot of students who are dependents of defense personnel, and they do very well because they come from from a life where discipline is just woven into their fabric. And as I told you earlier, that talent, hard work, and discipline, they're all required if you want to go ahead in any field. Can we get a prospectus for SIMC to know about the institute? Yes, this prospectus will be made available to you on our SET website very soon, and you can have a look. For this moment, you can download the SET bulletin which is available, or come to our website. Every single word which will finally be printed on the prospectus would actually be available on our website as well. So you can just go through our website and you'll get all the information which will ultimately be published in our prospectus. And if you're still not clear about anything, you're most welcome to write to us, and if it's possible, we'll provide you with that information. When does the program at SIMC supposed to start? We will start end of June. As I told you, you take set on the 2nd of May. The results are declared by 18th of May. The shortlisting should be declared by about 20th, 22nd. The second round would start around 29th of May, will continue till 2nd or 3rd of June. The merit list should be declared by about 10th, or and you should have paid the fee by about 24th, and we expect you to report to the campus by 29th of June, and we will start by the 6th of July. And yes, we would very much like your parents to come down with you when you come for the admission, because before the program starts, we conduct an orientation where we talk about the various careers which are available, and we talk about the program in a nutshell. And we would very much like your parents to be a part of it, so that they also know as to what their children have got into and what are these careers about, because I would presume that about 99% of the applicants out there, your parents would not be from the field of media and communication, and they would be a little wary and uncertain about the career viability of a proposition like this. I'm sure it's you who are emotionally blackmailing your parents into letting you do this program, but I would want your parents to also feel better about this decision that you have taken, possibly the first major decision you have taken as about to be or already a new adult. So when you're planning to come down over here, make sure that you discuss it with your parents so that they can take time off from their busy schedules, and they also travel with you and at least attend the orientation program. I personally also meet each parent around that point of time, and when you're getting this admission, I'll be mailing to them, and I'll be asking them to come and meet me, and we'll fix the exact time that they can, so that they don't have to waste too much time. It's we believe very, very crucial, because ultimately they are the clients, and you will be the stakeholder. So we are looking forward to having you on board. And let me warn you, it's a very difficult program. You really will have to work very hard. It is also richly rewarding, but that rich reward will only come at the end of working very hard. You see, talent alone will not see you through. Talent is like maybe saffron sealed in a box. Unless I open that box, the aroma of saffron will not come around. Unless I put that saffron in my dessert, I will not taste it. So it's great that you are talented, but please remember that only when you work that talent out, when you work hard, when you put your talent to use, is when you're going to be successful. So please be aware that it's a very, very strenuous, difficult, hard-working program. Yes, also richly rewarding, but don't think for a moment that it's going to be an easy ride. Uh, I cannot see a new question on the screen at this moment. Maybe we'll have to refresh the system. Can we take a small break and do this? We'll take a small break and we'll come back to you if there are more questions. Thank you. Hmm. एक जल्दी से दिखा दो, फिर उसमें देख लेते हैं कोई है कि नहीं, और फिर तो फिर साइन ऑफ कर जाते हैं. Okay, welcome back, and here are a few questions which have just been uploaded. Unfortunately, as we go over it, we realize they're more or less the same questions that we have looked at throughout this webinar, but there are a few which are different and I guess needs to be answered. So, starting with the course outline simply says foundation, mass communication, etc. Can further course details be updated on the website? I think you are looking at the first tab. So when you click on academics, you drop down to the program structure. So you're looking at program structure. If you just come down, below program structure is a tab which says course outline. Now if you click on that, it will show you all the courses that we are going to teach you over a period of 3 years, and that will give you a very good idea about what's going to happen over here. And it's also going to tell you about as to how rigorous or extensive the program is, something I was telling you just before the break. Again, if you are still dissatisfied, please feel free to write back to us. Curriculum for SET exam in a more specific manner. Yes, I know a lot of you are asking for that, and that is why, as I told you earlier, we will be creating an application for our Facebook page where we'll be giving you a kind of a mock SET test. These questions will be merely indicative. They are not anything that we have asked earlier or are going to ask you later, but it'll give you a kind of an indication as to what kind of questions to expect. And it'll also be fun trying to take that and figuring out as to where you stand. What are the similarities and dissimilarities between BMS, audio video production, and courses like BSc Multimedia offered by Asian Academy of Film? I'm sorry, I'm not aware of either this organization or this program that you're talking about, but I'm aware of similar programs, so let me elaborate. Now, till last year, Mumbai University, for example, was offering a similar program which was called BMM, Bachelor of Multimedia. And it was a very similar program to the one that we were offering, BMS Bachelor of Media Studies. Of course, we would both have to now re-christian our program to Bachelor of Arts, BA in Mass Communication. And the difference is only that Mumbai University was offering 2 specializations, journalism and advertising, and we were offering 4 specializations, journalism, advertising, film and television, and public relations. And apart from the fact that, of course, our program is a much more rigorous program. It has several courses. About you'll possibly have to go over 75 courses when you're here, whereas our modules, whereas the university has papers or subjects, and there are far fewer papers. They possibly have only 4 per semester as opposed to our 12. So, but I've already warned you, it is a very rigorous program. You'll get to do a lot of things over here. Yes, you'll also learn a lot, but you'll have to put in that effort. Okay, here's a blank question, and sound record. Okay, this is the same. Just give me a moment. Let me scan over these questions and no, I think these are the only new questions. The rest, everything is looking the same. I'll just read a part of the question. I think this is important and you need to know this, is what is a placement guarantee for the Mass Comm program? I'm sorry, I'm not able to offer you any guarantee. I don't think there is anybody anywhere who can offer you a guarantee for anything, ever. It is merely an indication that if you work hard, you will do well in life, generally speaking. But there's also a possibility that people who don't work hard could just get lucky and they could do well in life. But our advice is that you should not base your life on an assumption like that. That maybe I will get lucky and I don't need to work hard for it. There is a greater possibility that if you work hard, you will do well. On a similar indication, yes, a lot of our students are doing very well, and but most of them are the ones who really worked very, very hard. Please remember that we are merely a training institute. The reason why we are doing well is because possibly a lot of students apply to us, and we have a very robust and innovative admission process where we are able to select the best students. And we have also a very innovative and interesting training program where we are able to guide you in the right direction or maybe motivate you into working hard. But honestly, I think 90% of the credit should be given to the student who is immensely talented and who is very hardworking. I see myself as a facilitator. I don't think the fact that you are able to write from place A to B, the credit should be given to Google Maps. The credit should be given to you. You are the one who has made the effort. So, sorry, the institute is making no guarantee. Yes, it could, based on previous record, empirical statistical data, study, research, general opinion, we have noticed that yes, students who are talented, they work hard and are disciplined, they do well. Qualities we have spoken about, media we have spoken about. What devices will we get to use during the program? If you are referring to equipment, this is interesting because we have a lot to offer you over here. If you would remember, during the introduction, we were talking about the various facilities that we have over here. To begin with, here we are in this shooting floor, and I would possibly request my camera person to possibly zoom out and show you the shooting floor as I'm talking to you. This is attached to a production control room, which has from where we can control this multicam setup. We have post-production suites. We have a post-production lab. We have a sound recording suite. We also have a sound recording lab. We have a photography studio. We have a developing printing room. We have a computer lab. We have a audiovisual library. So whatever equipment which is available over here, for example, a camera, a microphone, a sound recording unit, the hardware and the software for post-production like Avid, FCP, the sound recording softwares like Neondo, Pro Tools, design softwares like Photoshop, Illustrator, CorelDRAW. These are lights, moving vehicles on which we mount a camera for a moving shot. These are primarily a long list. Some indicative list is there on the website. You can go over it. Better still, when you come down for the second round, you can actually have a look at all of this. Or even better, when you take an admission, you'll actually be able to use it. And I'm very glad that you're evincing this curiosity, because it's only when you're curious we'll be able to initiate that interest that you have, and you'll be able to be yoked into using this machine and this difficult work. But if you're interested, it'll be great. Are my questions not showing? I've asked quite a few questions, but you haven't answered them. I'm sorry, I'm not able to. This is Abhijit. Oh, this was your question. I've just answered your question. So, can I immediately join a PG course at SIMC after the UG course? Of course you can, but the immediate word is not true. For if you want to move from our undergraduate courses program to our postgraduate program, you'll have to again go through an entrance exam, which is called SNAP, Symbiosis National Aptitude Test, for the postgraduate program, and then you can pursue that program if you get through immediately. Okay. Okay, you're this is another interesting question about this contest that we had last year on Mediapedia. Yes, we'll be coming up with this contest this year too. It's very interesting because uh, we run this simple but very interesting contest on our Facebook page, which is called Mediapedia, and we select a few winners. Now, we have lots and lots of people who participate, and we select the most interesting entries, and we sponsor a trip to the institute for all these students. So last year, for example, some 6 students from all over the country had come down over here, and they had spent half a week. So they were taken around the institute, they met every faculty member. Every faculty member conducted a class for them. We gave them a demo of all our practical labs, and in fact 4 out of those 6 finally made it over here, and they cannot stop but uh, uh, boss over the rest of the students because they were here earlier and they knew us better and they possibly knew the systems better. It's a great way to decide whether this is the kind of a place that you want to come to. So do participate, and if you get through, there you are. You get a completely paid for trip to SIMC. Are there any prerequisite laptops, PC that you need to have? Not really. Yes, if you have a laptop, it will be easy for you to work over here on assignments. The rest is optional. I mean, you can, if you are interested in photography, you can buy a DSLR. Do we get to use all? Do we get hands-on experience on cameras, video editing software and facilities throughout the 3 years? Do we get to use these facilities you mentioned for present projects? Absolutely, you do. All this equipment that you see over here has just been procured for the use of the student. First, we train you in using it, and then you use it. In a practical session, for an assignment, for a project, students borrow and take these equipment, and that is why they are here. PI we have done before. How big is the institute? Where in Pune is it located? It's located very close to the airport. And how big is this? I'm sorry, I'm not able to remember the area. It's big. It's rather big. If you come to the website, you'll see some pictures and make sense. And if you can win this Mediapedia contest or come for the second round, you'll be able to see it. At this moment, I'm sorry, I don't remember exact area. Is there any specialization category in film and television for animation? We have a course in animation for the film and television specialization, if that is what you wanted to know. Is web design a part of the course? Yes. We have a course in web design in this course as well. I live in Pune. Is there some transport facility I can avail to get to your college? Yes, absolutely. We have several buses which start from different parts of the city and come somewhere around 8 o'clock in the morning and reach the campus by 9 o'clock. Similarly, the same buses start at about 5 o'clock in the evening and they go back to through the same route to the same spots by 6 o'clock, and you can just hop on to any one of them. You'll have to get a bus pass made before that. What foreign languages can one learn? The ones that we were talking about, you can opt, and this is optional. You can learn between Spanish, French, and German. Is there anything like a BSc Mass Comm? No, the government of India has specified that all mass communication programs will now be a Bachelor of Arts. So no matter who is offering them, which university, which part of the country, all mass communication programs in the country have been renamed as BA Mass Communication. Prerequisites we spoke about. Why aren't you using a lavalier? This is a very good question. Abhijit, yes, I've now figured you out. I think you are looking at the right place. If you can ask me a question like that as to why I'm not using a lavalier, or for those who don't know, a lapel microphone, I think you are talking about the right place. Yes, you're absolutely right. I should have used a lavalier for this. It has a better sound quality, and it would have been much more comfortable, and this thing would have been out of my face. I could have just pinned it up over here. After the UG, yes, we have answered this transition to the PG to you as well. Um, what what kind of assignments and projects that you'll be asked to do over here? This is, I'll spend the next 2 hours discussing this, because every faculty member is free to devise their own assignments and projects, and every course has a different kind. For example, a course in theater will obviously be performance based. A course in business communication will obviously be presentation based. A course in visual aesthetics and design will be based on something that you do. Broadcast journalism courses will be all about creating video news bulletins. Film and television will be about creating films. Advertising would be creating advertising campaigns. Event management would be actually conducting an event. So lots and lots of options. But there are also a lot of theoretical programs, purely theoretical courses, which will give you a take-home assignment where you have to write down an answer. There'll be tests. So it's all kinds put together. It's a kind of a mixed bag. New media we have discussed. Why aren't you using your green screen? We are. I mean, if you wanted to know that as to why am I not chroma keying, and this has to be Abhijit. Yes, it is Abhijit. So why am I not chroma keying into a different visual? Honestly, for most of the others who are not aware of what we are talking about, they wouldn't have known that we are in front of a green screen if I had used a chroma key and inserted a different image. Gap we have discussed. If you have left school last year, if you completed your 12th last year and you're applying to SIMC, this has no bearing on your admission. Please feel free. Specializations changes we have discussed. What is the last day to apply for this program? 12th of April, you have to apply to SET. If you are already applied to SET and have not applied to SIMC, you can do this till the 13th of May. But I would advise you not to wait. You might just forget. I think we are now, I can't see any question which is different from the ones which have been asked already. So if there is no other new question, I'll just try to go down and see if there is anything, but no. No, there's nothing new which has been uploaded so far. So maybe either you're satisfied with whatever we discussed, or maybe the system is taking some time to do this. Maybe we could just wrap it up now. The only thing that I want to tell you is that if this is what you're interested in, give it a real good shot. If you can make it, great. As I told you, I'm looking forward to having a great time learning from you, and you learning from us, and you going on to have a successful career and a happy life, you becoming a better professional and an even better human being, and contributing to national growth and all those great ideals. If for some reason you are not able to get through, please don't worry. There are several other, I'm sure, very nice schools where you can go to and learn. And if you are talented, hardworking, and you're disciplined, there's nothing, absolutely nothing, which can stop you from going ahead, from moving forward. Whether you're studying at Symbiosis or not would really not matter. We are merely a catalyst. The catalyst is has very little consequence. This program, this entire conversation, this entire idea is about you. It's not about us. If you are meant for great things will happen to you. If you are with us, we'll only be a part of that great design and not the other way around. So we are actually looking for talented and hardworking students more than how a lot of you are looking for a fine training institute like ours. We did not make this great name by having this large campus or having these costly equipment or having these very efficient teachers and smart talkers, and we did not create this great institution by any one of these devices. We created this great institution in the past 40 years by the fact that we could produce excellent students who then went ahead and worked in the industry, and the industry was so pleased that they kept coming back to hire more. This is how we created a great brand. So I wish you all the best for getting in here, for not getting in here, and still having a wonderful life. So thank you very much for joining us, and good day to you.